Nansaimu chairman Wontumi NPP for Ashanti region. Just an virgin night omo ya just omo pleaded to President Mahama say omo serena just say ohwe na o release na as presidential pardon ejuma na deputy attorney general ene wakasa ocha also the amanfo no mu bi no ono towa on tenio ma biase NPP for more president Mahama no president Mahama oni tumi bia wo court no say ono na say or pardon chairman Wontumi na deputy attorney general drop shocking revelations on chairman Wontumi ni charges ni case na right now chairman Wontumi so ote asama deputy attorney general kan ya onkan ehunu say na wie no aba oni bibia ye 20-year detail no obetwa awie na asama deputy attorney general kan say omo ena chese omo no omo ye adwuma no wo judicial system onye president Mahama ene beka say omo mrambe yi na na ase bibi say enti no de NPP executives na ye virgin night na omo ko eni nyina ayekwa and chairman Wontumi ni plea bargain 30 million exim bank case no abom ena esi ebo so ho sa deal no negotiations na ekoso no deputy attorney general na nkofo omo offer omo here free chairman Wontumi mo no chairman Wontumi ne lawyers no omo entumi emiti sa offer na sa 30 million exim bank fraud chairman Wontumi say sa plea bargain negotiation so no ebu abono wo ho a onhu de oye no enti no deputy attorney general say ama omo ahot on negotiations cause omo offer na omo de ato chairman Wontumi anim no enkofo no entumi entake ene deputy attorney general akasa papa efa chairman Wontumi ne court case so wa che say tan on the forest so e ho chairman Wontumi be den enti no plea negotiations kwa na anase plea bargain no e na onhu ano achew pa NPP executive for Addo president Mahama no deputy attorney general mo aba be gina nim say omo na ebo adwuma wo judicial system o yenko na yenko nkoti ensema deputy attorney general or the tudwa wo political highway so ye ba ye de aka ato am so unsubscribe ya subscribe hit on the notification bell so send be any update be ever drop no so sabi to me akabina sa na be ko Ghana ha say open computer papa and a laptop papa na we use abura perosi computers and accessories ho and na obenya laptop papa na we using the location enye irakwan o Kumase Bokrom Estate Eli free number na say egu you screen ya say yenkomra na ye ba ye de aka beto am so.
Before we come to specific oral cases, Wontumi, you succeeded in securing a conviction. He's behind bars now. He has filed an appeal, but he's also filed a process to get him out pending the hearing of the determination of the appeal. You filed to object.
Yeah.
Very strongly. Why? I mean, he's already been convicted.
You know, opposing such application is actually in the interest of the accused person. Accused persons of everyone likes liberty. But think of a situation where you have been sentenced, you have served, let's say, a month, and then you are granted bail pending appeal. So you come and spend maybe 3 months or 6 months outside, and then the appeal fails. You go back to serve your sentence. You get the point. That is a psychological, there's literature on this part of it. So judges, unless there are exceptional circumstances, so for example, case of severe illness or some health issue or some very important matter, so we call it exceptional or special circumstance, then the court will grant you, but they will not grant you bail pending appeal merely because you disagree with the decision. If you look at the affidavit they filed, all they are saying is that they disagree with the decision and they stated grounds on which they disagree. That does not occasion any special circumstances that will allow you to what? Come out pending the appeal. And so when it was pretty easy for us because there were situations where if you take, I think Addo Asian, who is on bail pending, I think he was put on bail pending appeal because there were severe health issues that were apparent on the face of the affidavit. This one has no such thing. It simply says, grant me bail to be out there because I won't run away. So let me be out so that you decide to appeal. It's pretty easy for the prosecution. So when we sought advice from our attorneys, they said, no, there's no sufficient, there's no special circumstance to warrant an accused person to be brought out. And then later when the appeal fails, you take him back in to start the sentence. So
and appeal can take quite a while to resolve. So you're expecting that he's going to be behind bars until that is determined on appeal.
Yeah, so the thing about appeal is that it is the appellant's job to fast track appeals. So appeals work in two ways. If I am the appellant in this case and I'm the accused person's lawyer or the convict's lawyer, I will do everything to fast track the appeal because these are the timelines. Once you file your appeal, the first thing you do is to compile records of appeal from the lower courts, and then you forward it to the appellate court. That is entirely in your hands. If you want to wait for 2 months to compile it, because the registries, they don't go on vacation, so they can compile it anytime for you to. So depending on how you fast track that, your appeal will end up in the Court of Appeal sooner than anybody would think. And then when is there are timelines. Once there's something called Form 6, or that's in civil case, but in criminal there's no such, it's a different process. But you go to the court summons you, you come there, and then they give you timelines. And usually it's just 21 days for you, the appellant, to file your address. You can file it on day 1. Instead of waiting for the 21 days, you can file it on day 1 and serve it on your other party. The respondent has 21 days from the day of service. So if you want it fast, you can file it on day 1.
Have you been served that?
No.
You've not been served.
The record is not even in the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
As far as we know, nobody has, the record is not before the Court of Appeal. So another side of the case is that if you secure, it's like a client who secures an injunction and then goes to sleep. So you are building on my land or on a land that is in dispute, and I go for an injunction against you. I know deep down that I don't have, title, but I just want to frustrate you. Once I get an injunction, I go to sleep. And then the injunction is working against you while I sit down and cross my legs. So it's possible that you can get bail pending appeal, and he will refuse to move forward appeal, and the record will stay in the high courts. He's on bail. And then it delays the process. So appeals could actually be fast-tracked depending on the council's interest.
So you're saying you're waiting for Wontumi to fast-track his own process as far as the hearing of the appeal matter is concerned?
No, it's
entirely in his hands. And you haven't been served yet with the...
No, it's only when we accept that we take a step. So we will sit down and wait for them to... If they do it today, the court will even give us a period within which to respond. And we cannot even drag it. Because if you don't respond, the effect is that the court will decide the case without your response.
Out of the court, and this is just, by the way, he's also been rendering apologies, to the president and, appealing to the president to intervene, and that if he's wronged him in the past, he's sorry, his aides have been saying it. Does that count for anything?
I think there is a certain culture which I find disturbing. People still behave or don't believe that the judiciary is not under the control of the executive. That is what informs such, things as apology. So you have been charged with specific offenses. The judiciary has heard you, they've convicted you. You have maintained throughout the trial that you are innocent. You have even filed an appeal. Now, I'm not saying don't apologize to people that you believe you have wronged. But if the apology is engineered to secure an overturning of a court's decision, then what you are doing or suggesting is that the president has power to actually cause the courts to decide one way or the other.
Or pardon him, maybe.
Fine, pardon, but I don't think pardon has a process. People don't see the process for pardon. Pardon, after you send your petition to the president refers the petition to the Attorney General's department. We look at it, we refer to the prison service, they also look at it, and they all write reports. So often you hear that the president has pardoned these people. It's not that you just tell the president gets up to say, I'm pardoning them. No, there's an elaborate process that goes on underground. I don't think the president, well, I'm not in the office of the president, but the president has not informed us that he has received an application for pardon. So that case, the apology is not intended to secure a pardon, but intended to get the president to influence the judiciary one way or the other to let him go. And I think that is unfortunate because as far as I know, the president doesn't have that power to direct judges as to how they should decide. If such a power exists, I'm not aware.
I mean, out of curiosity, I mean, you know, in this country, you made the point that when somebody is put before court, due process is applied, and the person is punished, you tend to get all manner of people calling to appeal and plead. Have you received what they call chiefs, pastors? You know, they are anybody.
Well, the work I do, I've taken some oaths and oaths of secrecy, so I don't think it's something I'm allowed to disclose.
No, not disclose who, but people just randomly. You know, pastors called you. You know, they want to pray for you so that you do something to them.
People threaten you with all manner of things, and you receive such threats every day. The mere fact that you are doing your work can cause someone to just hate you, and some threaten violence, death, and all manner of things. Some try to even carry them out, you know. But it's not everything that we talk about.
Have you been a victim of that, a target of any of those sins? Because this is a major conviction. People are very upset.
Every day, someone somewhere is unhappy and is.
So have you received threats on your life?
Of course. I mean,
has it gone up or reduced since Wontumi's conviction?
It's actually gone up. Our witnesses are every day threatened with.
The two of them.
Yeah.
The two.
Yeah.
You know, star witnesses for you.
And even the police investigators who testified and all, they threaten everybody.
I see.
So but I think it comes with a job. I mean,
because I'm a manager, Joe, I know how severe the threats were and how direct. In your case, were they mere? You know, sometimes we're just joking. How serious do you take those threats?
I take each of them very seriously.
What were they? Was it to kill you?
It includes that.
Were they sent to your phone or text messages or somebody told you?
It comes in various forms. And so, but I don't think it's important for us to, because if you follow that, then it means people will use such threats to secure freedom to continue to do that which the law prevents. So I think, and it's not only me, my attorneys receive such threats every day. And not only in this case, other cases as well. Murder cases, armed robbery cases. Judges receive their share of the threats. It comes with
how do you stay safe? I mean, especially as you made the point on the back of the conviction, you've seen an increase in the threats. How do you stay safe?
God is the protector of man, and I believe God protects me as well. You know, of course, because I mean, no matter what you do, the state cannot commit a certain level of security to.
I mean, in our case, a private organization, we invested in taking the people out of the jurisdiction. You are still sitting here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That
well, so you must definitely take beyond the prayers and God's protection.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely physical, you know, natural protection, and then I refer to God because that's the supernatural one. But the point I'm trying to make is that your protection, you can get the physical one. But even that, there's a limit to which you can, as a minister, a deputy minister, because the protection comes in levels. The president's protection level is higher because of the same reason, threats. The state cannot spend money on me as they're spending on the president's security. And obviously, the attorney who is conducting the case or assisting us to conduct this case will not get the same protection as I am getting. The point I'm making is that there is a limit to how much physical protection you can get. And even that is never enough because human beings can do so many things. So I would, for my own peace of mind and everything, I discount the physical one, even though, yes, it's good. And just so I can sleep, I commit myself to
in the hands of the Lord.
Yes.
And those two star witnesses, are they getting any police protection?
Yeah, we've given them police protection.
Then the threats must have been very severe.
Oh, yeah.
against them. Just wrapping up on Wontumi, he has another case now, the 30 million Exim Bank. That is an oral case.
Yes, it's an oral.
The last time this was adjourned to allow you to finish the negotiations, I believe there's a plea bargain there.
Yeah.
They made an offer that you rejected.
Yeah.
Are you making progress?
We regrouped again to negotiate further, but I can announce that too has not made any, we've not made much progress because what we think is sufficient, the other side said either they don't have it or so
it's 30 million. How much are you asking them to pay?
That would be the details of the negotiation, which is without prejudice and it's also covered by confidentiality, So it's enough for me to say that we have decided that we'll proceed with the case. So once the legal vacation is over, we will proceed with the trial. The law allows us to still have that conversation alongside the trial. So even though I would say we are still negotiating, we think that we have reached a point where we would have to proceed. If along the way we arrive at a fair conclusion or decision or plea deal, it's just a matter of informing the courts and then it ends. Otherwise, we don't want to spend time talking about this while,
So you are not rejecting or closing the door to a plea bargain?
Yeah.
But you would focus on the trial.
Precisely.
While this other, plea bargain arrangements still happen.
Precisely.
But what you said is very clear that you know what you want. Yes. From the plea bargain, you put it before them, and their counter offer doesn't meet it.
Doesn't meet it at all.
At all.
Yeah, significantly below what we are expecting. So we will proceed. And like I said, I think you put it even more accurately that we'll proceed with the trial while having this conversation on the side. If we reach a deal, we announce to the court that we have reached a deal. Otherwise, we
and educate me on plea bargain. Does it mean that the accused would have to plead his guilt and accept his guilt in the matter?
Not necessarily. It depends.
And that if we reach an agreement, does that presuppose that he is accepted that he's guilty?
Yes. So there are options.
Okay.
There's one where he doesn't need to plead guilty before the court, so we can withdraw the charges completely based on the plea bargaining. So the Attorney General can negotiate and say, okay, you have caused us 30 million CD loss. We think that if you give us 60 million, that's times 2. We can drop the charges and then accept the 60 and let you go. And there are so many factors that I'm just simplifying. There are so many
hypothetical.
Factors, yes, there are so many factors that go into this plea bargaining. But there's an option where Attorney General can withdraw charges and then let the person go. So you have seen that in a number of cases, we have withdrawn charges and we have converted accused persons to, prosecution witnesses. So those accused persons are not going to be tried and they don't need to plead guilty, but they are giving us more things than we probably would have achieved.
You got something in exchange.
Yes, so if you take the Wontumi, the witnesses, the 2 witnesses, for instance, they did not just forfeit the mining equipment and the gold and the things that were confiscated. They also said in addition to that, they testified on our behalf. They testified in defense of our case against the accused person. And we found that valuable,
I'm going to take a break. When I return, we'll talk about the other big oral cases. It's been a while since we heard anything from the NSS trial. We'll also talk a bit about that, and I can get him to update you on what is happening and the other oral cases, what's happening to them. And we'll also talk about the Sedna Tamaklo case. And the accusation is that we told you so. She is now currently out of the cells and possibly at home. How did that come about when the Attorney General's Department was very clear that they were going to fight that case that she won? The Deputy Attorney General is still my guest. Back after this.
the workaholic deputy attorney general ono na person mu wa de he wa shiki NPP for a che say omo de omo ye bia no chairman Wontumi 20 ne de obetwa na the latest update on edubuan so ebebre mo me enko na ye beda masesa mo je pene kokuti sa ensem we edemaye ewa ha.